Hi, this is Mohammed again. Today I'm going to talk about the capital gains tax on the residential properties. Let's say if you are a taxpayer or an individual who is thinking to sell the, what sort of tax implications are there in terms of if any gain you have made on the disposal of your property. So the question is, what sort of properties you pay CGT on? Let's say if you own one property in your life and you have always been living in that property, normally that property is exempt from capital gains tax. However, there are few situations where a taxpayer can pay CGT on the disposal of residential properties, i.e., number one, either if he owns more than one property, or if you are a couple living husband and wife or civil partners and you jointly own two properties. So in that case, if you sell either of the properties, so the chances are the taxman gonna to send you a bill for the CGT. It means any gains you have made on the disposal of properties will be subject to capital gains tax. So this is how how to work out your gain. The question is so what contributes as your gain when you sell the property. uh, Normally the gain is the difference between the proceeds you receive at the time of disposal and the cost you have paid at the time of property. So there are few more costs you can include, which will include towards the property, i.e. incidental cost, meaning if you have paid any service, if you have paid the stamp duty, or you have paid solicitor charges at the time of purchase of property, so that will add towards the cost of the property. Likewise, incidental cost at the time of disposal of property will also be considered as, i.e. the same cost as I mentioned, surveyor fee, managing agent or letting agent, their fee, or surveyor fee or solicitor's fee. So that will also include towards the cost in calculating your gains. During the ownership of the property, if you have done any enhancement expenditure, meaning if you have done a complete refurbishment of property, or you have extended your property, you've done some sort of new kitchen has been put in or new bathroom has been done, so all these costs will be included in calculating your gains. Meaning, let's say for example, if you bought a property for £100,000 and you have spent about £5,000 at time of towards your survey fee, stamp duty, for your extension of the property or refurbishment of your property, another £25,000. So the cost will increase to 105 plus 25, meaning £130,000. And let's say at the time, after 10 years or 20 years time, if a taxpayer disposes of the property at £200,000, so the net gain will be £70,000. So this is how your gain will be calculated. The PPR means principal private residence relief. If a taxpayer has been living in the property throughout the ownership of the property, so that person does not need to pay any capital gains tax on the gains if he is making at time of disposal of this property. So in our experience at IBISS Co, we have different clients whereby they have bought the properties, then they bought second property. At that time, they were not aware that they have to make an election, that at time of buying second property they need to notify to the HMRC which property they want to be classified as the main residence. And if let's say if your intention at the time of buying second property was just not to live into the property but actually was an investment, so the chances are you are ending up paying capital gains tax on the disposal of those properties. So this was the mainly So who qualifies for the relief? That let's say if you have let your property during your ownership, you can claim £40,000 as a letting relief. So mostly in most of the cases, like we have seen taxpayers avoid notifying to the HMRC or the taxman that they have let their property during the ownership. It is very good in the benefit of the taxpayer that at time of disposal, the taxpayer can claim a PPR up to £40,000. If your circumstances were such that you have been changing the ownership of the properties from one property to another property, so at the time of disposal of either of the properties, so we need to look into carefully which property should be qualified for your principal residential relief. At IBISS Co, we are specialized in claiming the PPR relief. If your circumstances are such that you have been living in different properties, please call us. We offer 2 hours free consultation whereby we can look into your circumstances and can advise you in reducing your capital gains tax while claiming maximum PPR. Our phone number is 0208 664 8096.